Good evening, everyone. This is Ahmed Yusuf from Immigrant Services Calgary. We are so sorry about that technical difficulty that we faced to go live, but we are good now. Again, I welcome everyone who is with us now on Zoom and our viewer in Facebook. Our session today is from Immigrant Services Calgary, as I mentioned. It is a non-for-profit funded by the federal government, and our goal is to help new immigrants to settle and meet their goals in all fields in Canada. Our presenter tonight is Dr. Hani Saman. He is a doctor, a medical doctor by profession, and he is the owner of an insurance company. And he is now today sharing his knowledge about insurance and our session, especially about insurance on property. Last time we discussed together insurance on individual or medical insurance and life insurance. The session before that was about a general overview on insurance. Before we start, I would like to again welcome everyone who is watching us right now. And please, if you don't like your image and your voice to appear on Facebook, please be advised that we are live now on Facebook. If you don't like your voice and image to be public, if you have questions, you can post them in writing in our chat box in here. Again, if you have questions and you would like to ask them, please be patient and wait until Dr. Hani finishes his presentation, and afterwards you can ask your questions. Before I start, I would like to thank the Government of Canada for funding our programs at Immigrant Services Calgary. I would also like to thank the First Nations who made Calgary and Southern Alberta their home for signing Treaty 7 and Region 3 in Southern Alberta and Calgary region. And we hope that we live peacefully together forever. Without more delay, I would like to invite Dr. Hani Saman to start his presentation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in our third session today about the insurance in Canada. Before I start, I want to thank Ahmed, Ayla, and everyone in the Migrant Service Calgary to arrange these great sessions that will help everyone, especially the newcomers, to gain more knowledge and more information, and it will help them to adapt quickly in the community. This is our third session today. We had two sessions before about the insurance in Canada. As Ahmed mentioned, we have the first one about the insurance in general, like it was an overview about the different types of insurance, about different companies, how can I choose the company, which type of insurance. The second session was about the insurance on the person or individual insurance. I will try to summarize all the two sessions in 2 minutes. Like we started about the insurance in general, and we mentioned what is insurance. Insurance, in a simple words, is a contract between you and the insurance company. You sign the contract with the insurance company. Your obligation is to pay the premium for the insurance company, like a monthly or annual premium, monthly payment to the insurance company. And on return, the insurance company promise to pay a specific amount of money if something happened, like if the risk happened for the life insurance, if something happened and someone lost his life, for the home insurance or auto insurance, if you have an accident, so the insurance company will pay the insurance coverage. So insurance is a contract between you and the insurance company. We started last time, we talked about the insurance on individual, the personal insurance, and the personal insurance will include the life insurance. That means you have insurance on the life of yourself or someone else. If something happened, the insurance will pay the amount, the coverage to the beneficiaries. This is the life insurance, and it's two types: a term, which has a specific period, and the whole life, which doesn't have any any limitation, any time limitation. The second one is the disability insurance. If someone has a disease or an accident and he couldn't go back to work anymore, so the insurance company will pay a specific amount, the coverage, which is 80%, the maximum is 80% of his income. They will pay him this amount till the age of 65. This is called disability insurance. The other type is the critical illness. There is a big list of diseases. If someone gets this disease and he can't work for 2 weeks, 3 weeks or more, once he is diagnosed of one of these diseases, the insurance company will pay him the coverage as a lump sum. Like, it's not a monthly payment. They will pay him a lump sum, 50,000, 100,000. It depends on the coverage on the insurance policy. The next one was the travel insurance. The travel insurance, that means if someone from Canada is going outside of Canada and he's not covered, like he doesn't have any medical coverage outside of Canada, so the insurance company will pay if he needs any medical emergency expenses, whatever. It's up to $10 million for the coverage. Or if someone is coming to visit Canada, anyone who is coming and visiting Canada, he doesn't have any coverage under the health services, the health service or the health system of Canada. So he needs to have insurance, because if something happened to him and he needs to see a physician or go to the emergency in the hospital, he will pay a lot for even one visit. The last one was what we call it, the investment insurance. That means insurance policy has some insurance coverage and some investment as well. And there is another one related to the personal insurance, which is a medical benefit insurance. That will cover the prescription, the medication, like all the medication, the prescribed medication, the dental service, all the dentists, if you go to the dentist, all the service will be covered under this insurance. Some other type of insurance will cover the optician, like if you need to go to the optometrist and need a glasses or eye exam, it will be covered, physiotherapy, and so on. And that was for the individual insurance. For the property insurance, which we will talk today in details about, the property insurance means anything that you have, you own, like car insurance, auto insurance, home insurance, and the business insurance. We will start with the auto insurance. Auto insurance is one of the most important topic. Everyone needs the auto insurance. It's mandatory. You can't drive your car without insurance, so it's very important. Plus, it's like a very not complicated, but it's like a long process. It needs a lot of information, as we will see right now. You need to give the insurance company lots of information to give you the specific quote, like how much you can pay, how much you will pay every month for the insurance. The auto insurance in Canada, it's two types. The first one is the provincial insurance. That means in some provinces, you get your insurance, your auto insurance, only through the provincial government. So there is no insurance companies, private insurance companies. It's only through the government. For example, in BC, in Saskatchewan, in Manitoba, there is no insurance companies. The only way to get an insurance for your car is through the provincial government. And one of the interesting things about it, your plate, your car plate, the plate is the insurance policy number. It's the same number. Like, you don't have two different numbers. Your car plate number is your insurance policy number. It has some advantage and some disadvantage as well, for sure. But in the other provinces, like in Alberta and Ontario, there is a lot of insurance companies and insurance brokers. And I think, in my opinion, it's better to have the insurance companies because if you have it through the government, it's cheaper for sure, but the service is not that perfect as the other provinces which has the insurance companies. Anyway, these are the two methods. In some provinces you will get it through the insurance companies. In other provinces you will get it through the provincial government. In Alberta here we have it through the insurance companies. This is the first the first thing about the insurance, the car insurance or the auto insurance. Let's start first. When you are going to buy a car, so you will need an insurance before you go to the registry and get the registration for the car. So one of the most important documents you will need when you go to the registry and get your registration and your plate number, you have to have an insurance policy with you. So the first thing, you will contact your insurance company or the insurance broker. And I mentioned before what is the difference between the insurance company, the direct company, or the broker. Insurance company, they sell only their own product. Like if you contact whatever the insurance company you call the direct insurance company, they have only their own product. So they will offer you the coverage, the insurance policy through their own system, their own products. But if you contact the broker, the insurance broker is dealing with more than one company, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So when you contact the broker, he will try to get you better deal by contacting more than one company and give them the information, and finally they will get you the final number, how much you will pay. So after you will contact your insurance broker or insurance company, the first step is to fill the application. They will ask you some information. You will fill the application on the phone. You don't need to go and sign the application. It's totally different from the life insurance. For example, you need to sign the application, but in the home and auto insurance, you can just give them the information and you can sign the application by email. So the first step is to fill the application, and they need some important information. Like they will ask you about the driving history, like when you start your driving, how many years experience you have. They will ask you about the insurance history. Do you have insurance before? With which company? For how long? Any cancellation for the insurance? Any claim? Any reason for the cancellation? They will ask you about all the details about your previous insurance or the previous driving history. The second question, they will ask you some specific details, some specific question. The first one, they will ask you about the owner of the car. Who will own the car? Who will be under which name the car will be registered? All the details, like one driver, two drive, like one owner or more. They will ask you about the details. The second question about the usage of the car. You will use the car for personal or for work. It's very important. They will be asked this question because it will make a big difference. Like if you are driving the car to work, if you are driving the car to the C train or the Calgary Transit and get the pass, or you are using just for like family issue, like for the personal use. The second one, they will ask you about your address in details with the postal code. And the question here is why they ask about the address and the postal code. There is some areas of the city, because if you are living outside of the city and you're working like you're working downtown and you need to drive the car 60 kilos every day. So plus if you are driving with some areas are like risky area. If you are living northeast, you know that the last summer we had a big hail on the northeast twice during the summer. So they ask about the address and all the details about your house. The next question is they will get your phone number because they need to open a file for you, and they need their phone number because if they can't contact you through the email or your address, they need to contact you by phone, so they have your phone on the file. The next question is the email address as well. This is very important information just to be in contact with you all the time. Then they will ask about each driver, specific question about each driver, like the name of the driver, is he married or not? This is an important question for the insurance application for the home and auto insurance. They will ask about the license number and which class. Do you have class A, class 5, class 7? It's very important. They will ask about the license number because license number, from the number itself, they can predict which year did you get your first license. The second question is about your date of birth, about is your first licensing date, and the next question about the first insurance date. Like, did you get insurance before? Yes. When was the first time you get in insurance? The more years you have, the more experience you have in driving and as an insurance user, so you will get a discount. I will mention it in a few minutes. So this is the most important questions. The last three questions about the driver is any tickets, any traffic tickets in the last 3 years. So any ticket you will have, it will remain on your file for 3 years. This is the first one. The second one about any claims, any accident or any claims. Claims will be on your file for at least 6 years. They will ask you about the last 6 years, any accident, any claim, and they will ask about any insurance cancellation. If you canceled your insurance policy, they have to ask about when was the cancellation and what was the reason to cancel the policy. It's one of the most important questions, because if the cancellation was due to non-payment, for example, if you didn't pay for your insurance, so the insurance company canceled your policy, it will be a big problem in the future, because none of the insurance company will give you the monthly payment schedule. You have to pay all the insurance, like the whole year upfront before you get your insurance policy. The last thing they are going to ask, they will ask about the car, the vehicle itself. They will ask about what is the type of your car, the model, the year, and the VIN number. So Toyota Corolla 2016. This is the first one, and the VIN number as well. When did you buy your car? Like, it's a newly, it's a brand new car, it's a used car, and when did you buy it? Like last month, last year. They will ask about it. Is it financed, leased, or fully paid? The next question is about usage of the car again. They will ask, do you use it to go to work? Do you use it during work, like using in the work, or do you just use it as a family car? After we fill the application and after we give them all the information, the insurance company or the broker will give you the final number, but this number may change in the future. When the insurance company review the file and review all the information, if they are missing any information, they can increase or decrease the insurance payment, the premium. It depends on the information they will get. So this is the first one about the insurance, about the car insurance. One of the most important question I have been asked, like every now and then, some people ask me for the experience. I'm a newcomer. I don't have experience here in Canada. If I have an experience from outside of Canada, from back home, does it count? Is the insurance company going to use this experience? It depends on the insurance company. Some companies they say yes, and some companies say no. So you need to ask the insurance company before you apply. I have an experience from back home. Do you count this experience? So you need to have all the like the history, the driving history from back home. You need to have the insurance history from back home, like a document saying that you have been driving for 20 years, for 15 years. You need to have a letter from the insurance company that you had insurance before and everything was okay. You paid the premium every month on time. You didn't miss any payment. This is very important. After we get it, now we go to the policy itself. The car policy, or the auto policy, it has like different sections. It's lots of information, so I will try to give it very simplified for all of you now. The car insurance policy, it has some divisions, some subsections. So the section A is called the liability insurance. Liability insurance means your responsibility or your obligation to the others. Like if something happened, if you hit someone, if you hit another car, you are obligated and you are responsible to pay for them. So of course you will not pay, the insurance company will pay for on your behalf, but the liability insurance is very important section of the insurance company insurance policy. It's the section A. The minimum amount here in Alberta is 200,000. Some insurance, some people they have the minimum like 200,000, but most of the policies, the liability is $1 million. Some car dealers, if you get your car from a specific dealer, they ask for a liability of 2 million. It will, of course, change the premium. But Section A is a mandatory. That means you can't have your insurance policy without Section A, which is the liability insurance. Section B, it's called the medical benefits. It will cover any medical expenses that happen if there is an accident and you are someone in driving the car get injured, and they have a friend or someone else in the car get injured too. So the insurance company will pay all the medical expenses that is not covered under the Alberta insurance, Alberta Health Services. They will pay every expenses, including physiotherapy, including any surgery, anything not covered under the Alberta Health Services. Section A and Section B are mandatory. You can't have your insurance policy without Section A and Section B. So Section A and Section B, we call it the one-way coverage, because there is one-way coverage and two-way coverage. One-way, that means Section A and Section B only. That means if something happened, the insurance company will cover all the expenses or the everything related to the accident for the others, not for myself. But the medical expenses will cover me, myself, and the others. Section C, it's for your own car. That means if something happened and you don't have Section C on your policy, the insurance company will pay for the other car, but they will not pay for your car, whatever the damage is. So if you have Section A, B, and C, so the insurance policy now is two-way. So the question here is, which is better? Do I need Section one-way coverage or two-way coverage? It depends mainly on your car, on the situation of your car. If you have an old car, a very old car, this is like, it's up to you, of course. Like it's in my opinion, I don't recommend to have like one specific type of insurance, but in my opinion and from my experience, if you have an old car like 10-15 years ago, a cheap car, you can have the one-way coverage. You can have just take Section A and Section B. But if you have car which is leased, you are leasing the car, or it's a new car, it's expensive car, of course you need to have the full coverage, section A, B, and C. There is something called the facility market in the insurance market. Like if someone has too much tickets, he has a very bad history with the insurance companies, and if he wanna get a new car and go to the insurance company, apply for the insurance, and none of the insurance company want to give him any coverage. So, and he can't drive his car without insurance. So there is something called the facility market. That's for the people who cannot get an insurance coverage in the regular or normal market. Of course, the premium will be much higher, but they will get an insurance through this market for sure. Also, there is something if an accident happen and one of the cars are not insured, there is no insurance coverage for this car. What will happen? There is a governmental fund that is fund which was made to give or to cover the uninsured cars or unidentified car. If someone hit a car and hit and run, he can't he can't find this person. It's not identified, so he can get the insurance through this fund. Okay, and we talked about the car details, everything now. And the next, there is some important question that everyone used to ask. I had some question from some friends here. I will try to answer all of them. The first one was about the, what should I do if the insurance company increased the premium on the renewal date? Like you having an insurance policy right now with one of the companies, and on the renewal date they send you a letter or called you, and they said that they will increase the premium. What can you do? What should you do? If they actually, usually every renewal you will get an increase. It's between 6 and 10%. So this is, this is okay. This is not too much increase in the premium. But if the premium, if you feel that it's too much for this new premium, what you can do is you can contact other companies and get numbers from all of them, and you go with the best deal. Because you don't have to pay anything to call an insurance company and get a new quote. I can call 5, 6, 7 insurance companies, and at the end of the day, I will get the best deal. And when I say best deal, I'm not talking about the premium only, because you can get a very good premium, a very good deal with a very low coverage. Here is the problem. You are paying $100 for your insurance, the car insurance policy. You went to another company and they will tell you that you will pay only $60 a month. Oh, it's a great difference. Like I will save 40%. No, you have to check the coverage first, because you can have a better deal, you can have a saving on your premium, but you may have a very low coverage, or the car is not fully covered. Like they can remove anything of the coverage. So you need to know, you need to review the coverage very well before you move from one company to another. This is the first thing. The next question is about what is the difference between the broker and the agent or the direct insurance. We mentioned before, I will just mention quickly. The broker is the one who is dealing with more than one insurance company. If you go to a broker, the broker is dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies. So he can get you a better deal by sending your information to different companies and then get you the best deal. But the direct insurance agent is working directly with one company, so he just have one product, one company products. Next question is, what should I do in case of an accident? A good question. If something happened, the first thing to do is make sure you are safe. Like, your safety is the most important point, regardless of what is happening, regardless of what is the car, what happened with your car. The first priority is your safety. Just be sure that you are safe. If you have time, or if you are okay, you can just take photos. It's very important. Everyone has his cell phone right now with cameras. You can take photos of what is happening and keep the photos. The insurance company will need it for sure. The second step, if the police is coming, the ambulance is coming, just wait and fill the paperwork. They will do like a report and fill the report, and you will need the report as well to send it to the insurance company. The third step after that, after you fill the report, get some photos, contact your insurance company right away, or your insurance broker. It's very important you contact them as fast as you can. Yeah, another question. One of my friends, he borrowed a car from another friend, and he had an accident. Who should pay for this accident? Of course, the car owner will pay for the accident, not himself, or the insurance company will pay for it, but it's from his own policy. So please don't borrow anyone else's car, and don't lend your car to anyone unless you give him a permission and you contact your insurance company, and you have to tell them that you will let your friend drive your car for whatever, for 1 day, 2 days. You have to tell them. This is for all the important question. The next point is about the tickets. Does the ticket, if someone has a ticket, does it affect the insurance premium? Yes, for sure, but it depends on which type of ticket. Like for the parking ticket, if you have a parking ticket, it will not affect it. Like it's like it will have like a very minimal effect. It almost, it will not affect the premium. But for the other tickets, like if you are drinking and driving, you will get a ticket. It will affect the insurance premium for sure. Cell phone of the one of the biggest issue right now. If you get a ticket, a cell phone ticket, it will increase your premium for sure. Plus, there is some insurance company right now, they don't offer coverage for anyone who got a cell phone ticket. You have to know this one for sure. Now we will talk about how can I reduce the insurance premium, the car insurance premium. Number one, you have to have what is called a clear file. Clear file, that means your file doesn't have any tickets, you don't have any insurance cancellation, any claims. So do your best to follow the rules. Try not to get any tickets. Try to pay your insurance premium on time. Like it's a very important issue, because it will affect you next year or the year after. So try to do your best to have a clear file. The second point to reduce the premium is to increase the deductible. What is deductible? Deductible is the amount you will pay if something happens. Let's say someone has an accident and the car will be fixed and the cost will be $10,000. So the insurance company will pay that 10,000 minus the deductible. So if the deductible 500, you will pay 500 and the insurance company will pay $9,500 for the fixation for the insurance coverage. So we can increase the deductible, make it 1,000. It will reduce the premium. So the first one is to have a clear file. The second one is to increase the deductible. The higher the deductible is, the lower the premium you will pay. Another tip, if you have a very old car, as I mentioned, you can have one-way coverage like section A and B. The next, if you have the insurance, the home and auto insurance with the same company, you will get a discount. Like it's a package, you will get a discount on the insurance on both the car and the auto, the home insurance. The second point is to tell the insurance company or the broker if anything change in the situation. Like if you don't use your car right now for work, later on after 5-6 months you get a new job and you are using your car for the job, please contact the insurance company and tell them about the change in the situation. And this is for everything, like for the home, for the auto, for life insurance, for anything change, contact the insurance company or the broker right away and tell them about your changing of the situation. If you have a winter tire, that will of course help, and in some insurance company they give you a little bit of discount on the if you have a winter tire for the insurance policy. The last thing about the claim, as we mentioned, if something happened, take photos, send it to the insurance company or the broker, and get some photos, get the report, and contact the insurance company right away. But if the damage is a minor damage, like if I have a very minor damage, I can fix it by myself. Don't do a claim, because the claim, even if it's a small claim, it will be on your file for 6 years and it will affect your premium. So if it's something minor and you can do it by yourself, you can pay for it, please do it and don't do a claim. But contact your insurance company and tell them about the situation, that you had a minor accident, a minor damage, and you will fix it by yourself. So you will keep this information in your file just for your protection. If something happened in the future, someone else do a claim against you, so you have all the document, everything is on your file in the insurance company. Okay, that's all about the auto insurance. We still have some time here. We will talk. I have some questions.
Dr. Hani, yes,
Yeah.
we have some questions here.
Yes, please.
And I hope our friends here on Zoom or Facebook, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. I'll start with the questions we have here in the chat window. Someone says, some people use their car once a week for shopping only. Can they get a coverage for the day they use a car and don't pay for the rest of the week? This is one question. And the other one, I guess you answered that already, which is which tickets can increase the insurance premium? And you have already answered that one. So is there a way to just pay for use?
Okay. Yeah, like because of the COVID-19, you know, most of the families who have more than one car, they didn't use it in the like the last few months. So there is something we can do, is to put the car on parking. That means there is a provision on the insurance policy. That means you can just park your car inside your garage or wherever you park your car, and tell the insurance company, I want to put the car on the parking. The car is not covered just for the if something happened to the car while it's parked, but you can't use your car while it is on the parking. It's a risky. If you go to use your car and it's on the parking, something happened, so the car is not covered at all. You can, if you don't use it at all, just put it on the parking until you need it. For this question, for sure, if you are using the car, like if you're using just once or twice a week for shopping, that means the kilos, how many kilos you will use it for every year, it will be a very minimal amount. So you can contact the insurance company and tell them that you are using the car once or twice a week. They will reduce the premium depending on how many kilos you are using the car. There is another way, but it's very complicated. It's very hard for the broker, not for you. But you can, like, if you have like a good relation with your broker or your company, you can put the car on parking, and you will use it like once a week. You can every week you can activate the policy on the day that you are using the car, and then put it on parking in the evening or the next day. Yeah, for sure you can do that, but it will be like every week. It's a lot of work for the insurance broker, but you can for sure. Any other questions? Okay. We have like the time is flying. Okay, now we will go to the next part, the home insurance. Home insurance, it's two different insurance. It depends if you are renting the house or you are the owner, if you own the house or renting the house. For the rent insurance, you will mostly have the insurance to cover your furniture, your computers, your TV, all the stuff, like your if you have some jewelries, you have like your belongings, everything will be inside the house, not the house itself. The house itself or the condo will be covered under another insurance policy that will be the owner, that it will be with the owner. But for yourself, you have to have this rental insurance policy that will help you if something happen. It will cover your stuff, like everything, including furniture and everything. The second one is about the if you own the house, if the house is your house. Exactly the same as we mentioned with the car insurance, the home insurance, we need to ask some questions about the house. I will mention the questions very quickly. Like the first one is, the first question is, did you have any home insurance before? Yes. Which company and when? The next question is, who will be the owner? Like it's one owner, joint owner, like a husband and wife, or just one? It depends. They need to know all the information about the owners. The second question, how many square feet? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? It's important question. The second, they need to know the address and the postal code in details. As I mentioned, there is some areas who are risky areas, like some areas in the southwest here in Calgary are very susceptible to the flood. Every few years we had like I remember we had the flooding the 2013, I think. Yeah, most of the houses in the southwest, they were affected by the flooding. Northeast, some houses affected by the hail in a few months ago. So they need to know the address exactly. Is it a single home, attached single home, or condo or townhouse? They need to know the details. How many levels, how many stories, like 2 levels, 3 levels? Is the basement finished or unfinished? Because if the basement is finished, the risk will be higher. Like you will use the basement, you will go downstairs, you will use it. The kids can play, you can put some stuff inside in the basement. So they need to know it's finished or unfinished. How many full bathrooms and how many half bathrooms? like 1.5, 2, they need to know that. The year of the build, like when the house built, like was it built 10 years ago, 15 years ago? This is very important because like 15, 20 years ago, the construction material they used to use it was like not that good as they used to nowadays. So the older the house, the higher the premium will be. If you do any renovation in the house in the last few years, what was the renovation? What did you do? Like, did you add another room? Did you finish your basement? They need to know any renovation happened inside the house. The second question is the garage, do you have a garage? Is attached or detached, single or double garage? It's one of the important questions. They will ask about any alarms you have. Do you have a fire alarm? Do you have a security cameras? Do you have a motion detector? This is very important. They need to know all this stuff, because if you have a fire alarm, not the carbon dioxide or the carbon monoxide detector, the fire alarm. If you have a fire alarm, you have a security cameras, you have a motion detector, for sure you will get a discount for each one of them. They will ask about the construction materials, like the flooring, the drywall. They will ask about the roof. What type of roof do you have? Most of the houses now, they have what's called the asphalt shingles. It's a good quality material. So you do, because like in the past, most of the houses, they need to do the roofing, they need to change the roof every 10, 15 years. Right now, because of this new material, I know some houses now more than 20, 25 years, and the roof is still great. This is the important question about the house. Now, after they will ask you all this question, they will send you details like a coverage, the insurance coverage, how much you will pay monthly, and what is the coverage. And again, I wanna mention, I know everyone needs to pay, like need to save money on the insurance, but before you save money, just check the coverage first. Because there is a basic coverage for every house, like the fire coverage. It's a basic mandatory coverage for every house, but the other stuff, like we can add and remove some coverages, and this will give us some flexibility for sure. But you have to make sure that the coverage is good coverage. For example, there is a specific coverage for the water damage. If there is water leakage in the basement or in the house, and the water damage like all the floors or everything, there is a specific amount under the coverage for the water damage. Some of the insurance companies can give you like 10,000 coverage, and you are paying for your house $80 a month. 10,000 for the water damage is nothing. You need to have like much more than that. Some other company, you will pay $100, but you will have 30,000 water damage coverage. So which one is cheaper? Of course, the 100, not the $80. So you have to check the coverage before you take the deal. Second one you have to look at it is the deductible, that the amount you will pay. It's most of the policies, you will have a 1,000 coverage, 1,000 deductible, maybe more, maybe less. It depends. You can choose what deductible you will pay. You have to make sure that the hail damage is covered. Like there are lots of stuff should be covered under the policy, but you have to make sure that everything is covered. Because even the trees, if you have the trees outside the house is covered, you have to check your policy and you have to review it before you take the final deal. Okay, now the last thing about the insurance today is the business insurance. We talked about the auto insurance. We talked about the home insurance. I think we covered most of the topics about the home and auto insurance. Of course, every policy is totally different depending on the house, on the address, on the how many square foot, what is the usage. Like it's totally different from between each one. But in general, like all the information we mentioned will help you when you are taking your insurance, you buying your insurance policy. Now at least you can check the policy, know what you are looking for. You can review the policy and check the coverage and choose which one will be better for you. For the business insurance, there is three subtypes, or the business insurance will cover three different subjects. The first one, the building itself. Let's say a restaurant or a clinic. So the building itself, it's covered under a separate policy. So a policy will cover the building itself, like the house, exactly like as the house insurance. The second one will cover the equipment, all the equipment inside. Like for the clinic, it will cover the examination room, like the examination tables, the computers, the screens, the like everything, like the spotlight, everything will cover the what else, the desk, like the desk, the front desk will cover the like the files, the patient file. This is for the equipment. If we are talking about the restaurant, it will cover the tables, the kitchen, the grill, all the machines, like the bar, the fridges, everything. The third part will cover the persons, the people who are working inside the business. It is called the key person insurance. That means we need to have an insurance coverage for the person who is taking care of the business. If I am the owner of the business, but I have another one who is the manager that is taking care of everything in the business, if something happened to him, I can't take care of the business, so I need to hire someone else, or the business will stop for a period of time until I get another one and give him training. So this type of insurance will cover this period if something happened to the key person, to the important person in the business. There is another insurance called the E&O, that means error and omission, that will cover all the mistakes happen in the business. This one is needed mainly for the some specific professionals, like for the insurance company, the insurance companies and the insurance broker. They need the E&O insurance. The restaurants, the accounting office, like the accounting, the lawyers, they need the E&O. For the physician, it's called the malpractice insurance. If he give a, if he miss a diagnosis, if he prescribes something to the patient which is not suitable for him, and it will harm him, or even if not, this will be covered under the malpractice insurance. This is for all the types of insurance. And now, if someone else has a question, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you, Dr. Hani. That was very interesting, and you covered almost everything about insurance today. Thank you so much. I am opening the floor for our guests here on Zoom. If you have any questions about the three types of insurance, please unmute yourself and ask your question if you would like to ask. Do we have any questions here from our guests?
I have a question here about the Class 7 driver's license. Can I get an insurance for my car? I don't have Class 5, I just have Class 7. The answer is no. You can be a second driver. You can have your name on the insurance policy as a second driver, but as a main driver with Class 7, no, you can't. You have to have Class 5 if you will be the main driver. so you need to have class 5. Another question here. Okay, yeah, another question about the international license. Yeah, a newcomer, and he just have his he just got he got like the international driver's license, but he doesn't have any Canadian license. Can he get an insurance? Yes, you can have an insurance using the international license, but the premium will be much, much, much higher than anyone who had the Canadian driver's license. So the only solution, if you need to drive your car, you can get the insurance policy with this higher premium, very high premium, until you get your license. Then, yeah, like if you will get the insurance policy right now, you will get the insurance coverage, and you are going to pay, for example, 300 a month. So you can do it, use your insurance and drive your car for another month or 2 months until you get the Canadian license. Then you can contact the insurance company, and they will reduce the premium for sure. Like they will give you the regular rate. It depends on the experience and all this stuff. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hani. I think I don't see any questions here in the chat window or even on Facebook.
Okay.
So this was very interesting, and this was our third session about insurance in Canada. So we covered an overview about all types of insurance in the first session. Second session, we spoke about personal insurance or life insurance. And today we spoke about property insurance, auto, home, and business insurance. That was very, very interesting and useful, Dr. Hani, and I received a lot of good feedback. And there are a lot of technical questions, Dr. Hani, about insurance. And I hope if you have any questions, if you notice, Dr. Hani is sharing his phone number just next to his name tag on Zoom. So you can just copy his phone number, and you can contact Dr. Hani if you have a personal question, and he thankfully will answer your questions in person, or if you want to ask something offline, that will be great.
Yeah, for
Dr.
sure.
Hani, do you have any other advice, quick advice before we end?
Yeah, for sure. If anyone, even if someone is not one of my clients, if he need me to review his insurance policy, like if someone want to buy insurance from anywhere else, and I need to like someone to review the policy, more than welcome to review the policy, home, auto, life, disability, whatever the insurance is. Just contact me, text me, or send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer and to review all the questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hani. Dr. Hani is on LinkedIn and on Facebook. You can find him, Dr. Hani Saman. And I don't want to keep you all more than the time that we agreed to. And I hope that you benefited from our session tonight. I will end first with our viewers on Facebook. Have a good night, everyone. And thank you again, Dr. Hani Saman.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.